What's up, everybody? I'm Becca Scott from Good Time Society, and I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest way to make a Call of Cthulhu character. Let's get started. So, you're going to need to fill in your characteristics to start. Let's go with the numbers that are given in the book for just a super easy, quick start. We've got 40, 50, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 80. Now, there is an alternative if you wanted to roll for your characteristics. Then some of them you would roll 3d6 times 5, and some of them you would roll a 2d6 plus 6 times 5. I'm just going to quickly throw that up so that you could do it and pause it if you wanted to. It's right up here. Strength, con, dex, appearance, and power would be 3d6 times 5, and then the other two would be size, intelligence, and education. Already messed up. That's 3 things. Whatever. Don't worry about it. All right. So we're going to make a character in the 1920s. Her name is Betty Botter. I am Becca Scott, and I think she's going to be a bank robber. She's young and carefree. She's 29. And female. Let's go ahead and start assigning these characteristics. We've got 80 in strength because I want to be strong. 50 in dexterity. Let's go with 70 in intelligence. 60 in constitution. 40 in appearance. She's got a terrible scar. Power at 50. Size, she's pretty small. And then the last one we've got left is another 60. Oh, awesome. All right, so that's that. We filled in our characteristics. And next up, we're going to need to figure out our HP. We're going to take our constitution, which is 60, and our size, which is 50, add them together, 110, divided by 10. Well, that's 11. Our HP, like any role-playing game, you have hit points. You don't want to get to 0. You might die. Sometimes there's opportunities for your fellow investigators to save you. We'll save that for your keeper to explain. Now, your sanity. This is a very important mechanic in Call of Cthulhu. If you lose a certain amount of sanity points within a single encounter, you could go temporarily, indefinitely, or permanently insane. It's insane, yo. So that's just going to be equal to your power. Your power is a characteristic that you might need to use for rolling in spell casting, or if something is trying to take over your brain and you fight back with willpower to get it out, that would be a power roll. A lot of these are pretty explanatory, but I should mention it's a percentage. Everything in Call of Cthulhu, pretty much, except for weapons, is 2d10 percentile dice. So you will roll your 10s digit die, this says 80, and your 1s digit die, this says 8. That makes an 88%, which is a terrible roll in Call of Cthulhu. You want to roll below your skill. Cthulhu. Okay, your luck is going to be 3d6. That I got 5 and another 6. Ooh, 11 times 5, which is 11 times 5. Oh, 55. Okay, great. That's our luck total. Luck can be spent like a resource to make your roll succeed 1 for 1, or it may be a thing if you ask if you remember to pack your flashlight, your keeper might say, roll for luck. You want to roll low. Your current MP, your magic points, is 1/5 of your power. And while we're talking about fifths, let's talk about why these little numbers filled in on my auto-calc sheet as soon as I put in the big number. Sometimes you'll need a hard success or an extreme success in order for a roll to succeed. If you're trying to fit through a small hole and your keeper says, I'm going to need an extreme size roll for you to fit through that small roll, you'll have to roll a 10 or below. This is 1/5 of the large number. Don't worry about it if that's confusing to you. Your keeper will help you when the time comes. Just remember that your this top right is going to be half, and on the bottom right, it's going to be 1/5. Okay, next up, she needs some investigator skills, and these are related to her occupation. So if you have an investigator handbook or a friend that'll let you borrow it, in chapter 4 is a list of occupations, and I chose bank robber. So if we go under the criminal profession to find bank robber, we're ignoring the occupational skill points here. You could create a pool of points and divide them as you like. You're going to use the existing number and add on to it, but we're doing something different because we're going quick start, baby. And that means we're going to use boom, these quick start skill points. There's 9 skills plus 4 things you can just add some percentage points onto if they sound fun for sort of your personal interests. And we're going to go with these skills: drive, auto, electrical or mechanical repair, blah, blah, blah. I copy and pasted it so I can see it. And those are the ones we're going to add into our Investigator Skills sheet. I'm going to take these numbers, these percentages below me, and I'm going to just fill them in. I will ignore the starting base values. So I think credit rating is a very important one. Credit rating is not listed along with the other skills. It's listed separately. It is a range that is a reflection of how much of a pillar of the community are you, or what kind of clout do you have when you walk into a room? Are people just generally impressed? Do they know your name, or are you a beggar? So I think that Betty Botter, of course, is extremely impressive, and everyone knows this notorious bank robber. So I'm going to put my 70 into credit rating. Next thing is drive auto. You know she crushes at that. We're going to give her a 60. Then firearms. She's better with the handgun. We'll give her the other 60 there. I skipped fighting brawl. We're going to put a 50 in that spot. And then intimidate is the next one. We'll go over, they're all alphabetical, you'll see. Intimidate, throw a 50 in there. And locksmith, not her best work. It's more about the pizzazz, the gravitas. It's the way she walks into the bank and makes everybody drop to the floor. Operate heavy machinery. Yeah, you should have seen that heist. It was pretty insane. And then one other skill as personal or era specialty. I think that she's really great at jewelry making. Yes, that's her special skill. So we've got 340s. I missed something. Intimidate, firearms, fighting, locksmith, operate heavy machinery. Whatever, you get it. Electrical or mechanical repair. Let's go with mechanical, and we'll put a 50 in that. Damn, we did it, y'all. We're almost there. So I'm going to add 20% to 4 other things as sort of my personal interest points, and I think that's going to be so adding, I'm going to add it to the existing base value. So if we look at spot hidden here, it's got 25%. I'm going to add 20 and make that a 45. So now I'm trying to roll 45 or below. And again, it auto fills in the half and fifth values for me. So it's easy. If my keeper asks for a hard difficulty roll, I'll know I need 22 or below on spot hidden. Okay, so I have 3 more things I can add something into. I think she learned to speak Greek. Well, in the midst of a big heist. Language other, you have 0-1 to start, so I'm going to put 21 in there. Language own, she speaks English, and her education that we chose earlier is 60, and that's just how well you speak English. There's another one that is also related to your base characteristics. That's dodge, which is half your dexterity, and Betty's is 50, so we'll put in 25 there. Dodge is used in combat. You have an opportunity to fight back or to dodge every time that you see an attack coming. And let's see, that was 2 things. Let's pick 2 more. Survival, obvi. She can rough it in the outdoors if she's on the lam, you know. And not charm. It's going to be fast talk. Fast talk is how well you can talk your way out of a situation, lie to make up a cover story of how you're a nice farm wife and this is really your farmhouse. Ooh, don't look in the basement. Anyway, there's a lot of not looking in the basement in this game. Let's check out one more thing, which is our damage bonus in our build. Now, this fills in automatically with the auto calc, but if you're interested, your build is related to your size and your strength. Is that right? Your strength and your size added together is going to show up somewhere on this chart. and I'm looking at page 65 of the Keeper's Handbook, but it's listed all over. If you just Google the build chart for Call of Cthulhu, and I'm sure there's a quick reference available on the chaosium.com website. But she is in this 125 to 164 range when we added together her strength and size, and that makes her have a damage bonus of 1d4. She's so strong and powerful. If she clocks you right in the noggin, it's not only going to be, if she succeeds on the roll, it's not only going to be the regular damage caused by a punch, but also adding a four-sided die worth of damage, and that makes the build 1. The build is also important if you're grappling with an enemy. Then if your build is higher, they will have to roll with a penalty die when they're trying to physically maneuver you in some way. So a penalty or a bonus die means you roll your tens die twice and take either the better or worst result. Of course, a bonus means you take the better, and a penalty means you have to take the worst. All right. Are we at the end? Folks, I think we did it. We have filled in most things on our character sheet here. Your move rate is always going to be 8 if you are human. It may go up or down slightly based on if you choose to play a very old character. Again, on our quick reference here, you could change your move rate if you're extremely strong and dexterous. Perhaps you might have a 9, and that's little nuances, but basically you can usually go with 8. And if you have any weapons, you'll put them in here. You can write down what their damage value is. If you decide to rock some brass knuckles that maybe have 1d4 of damage, and then you add your damage bonus every time it hits, you put it there. And then for the skill check, that would be your fighting brawl skill. And that's basically it. There are some charts in the Keeper rulebook about helping you fill in your ideology and beliefs, or you can just make up whatever is fun for you. Betty Botter, the bank robber, of course, loves her sister Eliza more than anything. Her meaningful location is the old oak tree, and her treasured possessions is a rabbit's foot. Check with your keeper if anything you choose to put in your gear and possessions here, because maybe they don't believe that you have a bazooka in your pocket, but if you checked with them before the game, they have to let you do it. Cash and assets. This is based on a chart you can find by Googling that is based on your credit rating, which we talked about earlier. Or you can just say, they're wealthy and they're poor, and play from there. You can be as nitty-gritty as your keeper and your play team decides you want to be when it comes to how specific you are about spending money and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Oh my gosh, have so much fun getting torn to pieces by monsters of the Cthulhu mythos. And have a nice day, folks. See you next time.